Brought to you by our sponsors, William Richmond Inc., Chesapeake's Bounty, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, McNellis Group Properties, Shady Lane Construction, LLC, R.E. Graves Heating and Air Conditioning, Chesapeake Plastics, Precise Systems, and G&H Jewelers. Live from the JP Weather Center, this is a Weather Alert Update. And good afternoon, everyone. I'm Forecaster John Bordash, back with you again to give you another live update here from the Storm Center. We are continuing to track severe thunderstorms moving into the region, and I think this is going to continue to be the case over the next 1 to 2 hours. I think you know the drill. If you can hear me fine, let me know in the comments so I know that we are all good to go on that end. But until those comments come in, we are talking about several different severe thunderstorm warnings in effect across the region. We have one in effect for southern Anne Arundel, northern Calvert, and eastern PG counties. We have a separate warning in effect for King George County, a separate warning in effect for Westmoreland and portions of the northern neck. And I think people can hear me now. Let me see if I can't just. Hopefully that works. But yeah, everyone says that they can hear me. But we're really talking about two separate areas of storminess moving through the region. We have a northern branch storm moving through PG County right now, which we'll touch on in a second. And then we really have a line of storms. And this line of storms here really does extend pretty much like this, pushing here to the northeast, and will be pushing through much of the region over the next hour to maybe 2 hours if it slows down enough. But first, let's go to our northern storm here. This is currently pushing through portions of northern Charles County, southern portions of PG County, northern Calvert County, southern Anne Arundel County. And let me put on that timing for you right now. This is the National Weather Service timing here, showing this storm moving through portions of the region here over the next hour. What I really want to do, I think, is put on my own storm track here to really show the entire storm and how we're moving here. 37 at 72, or yeah, 37 at, I don't know if it's moving. There we go. So this is an idea of storm timing for you with this northern branch storm over the next hour. The leading edge of this storm is going to be pushing into Dunkirk really any minute now. 537, we're sitting at 535 right now, pushing into the Davidsonville area, 537. Harwood, it's not far from you. I know you see darkening skies and probably some raindrops beginning to fall. Pushing into Tracy's Landing here by about 542, getting into the Huntingtown and Deal areas by about 5:45, so we're talking about 10 minutes, and I'm sure you see the darkening skies. Chesapeake Beach by 5:48, and then eventually crossing the bay, nearing the bay in Shadyside by about 5:49, then getting over towards Easton by about 6:30. So this is our northern edge storm. Earlier today, we were talking about a decent amount of hail with this. This system has a history of producing 1 to even 2 inch size hail at times. Right now, it's producing some hail. The hail right now getting near about an inch. The heaviest or the biggest hail is currently crossing 301 through portions of northeastern Charles County. So the hail core of this, right down to the south here of Brandywine, just to the east of Waldorf, where you see these colors here. I know it kind of blends in with the warning, but if we do a storm track just on that part here of this storm, let's just take this part, let's do it 37 miles per hour as well. That's going to move it right into the Huntingtown, Willows, Oxford area, Huntingtown, Willows, and Sunderland areas, Lower Marble here over the next little bit, and we're already seeing that hail. It's on the move. The trend here with the hail is for it to be getting smaller, but it's still going to be moving into northern portions at Calvert County here over the next, really the next 15 minutes or so. Let's take you back over to normal radar. Let's get that off. Let's take you down to the southern storm. If you're over towards Indian Head, you had this first round of storms move through. Now you're seeing a second round of storms. And what I actually want to do is take us on over to the chart website, see if it can't just give us an idea of what we're looking at here. Oh god, I have so many screens going on right now. Let's bring you over here. Let's bring up our webcams. This is a look over at The 301 Harry Nice Bridge, you can see the darkening skies. If I take you over to our Indian Head camera, you can see that rain is coming down fast and furious. If we take you over here towards Brandywine, the rain has been coming down heavy out here as well. Let's see if we can't just get one of our Beltway cameras. That's not going to work. I mean, you can see the heavy rain here on the Beltway right now. Let's take you back over to radar. Let's get back into discussing what's going on with these storms as they continue to move through. We're looking at heavy rain pushing back into portions of Charles County, Nanjemoyne, Indian Head, Marbury, that region. We have a lot of lightning, a lot of heavy rain, and some hail currently pushing through Stafford County. The leading edge, at least, is pushed through Frederick County, now moving into King George County. This is going to be moving into Charles County over the next little bit. And if we can put that storm track on it, the northern portion of the southern batch, it's going to be moving into King George by about 5:57. We're talking about Chaptico 6:27, so getting towards that Newburgh area by about 6:15. So we're talking about this really, and even in Newburgh, it's probably starting this outward portion of it beginning to move in here over the next little bit. But we're going to be talking about heavy rain, hail, and all of this lightning here is indicative of hail as well, because the way we talk about thunderstorm structure, you get really tall thunderstorms that allows for hail to get tossed around up there, and with the electrical charges of hail and the ground, the way that a thunderstorm that's producing hail would align itself would be conducive to producing a lot of lightning as well, with the hailstones sitting at the lowest level of the cloud base before dropping down. So a little bit of science there, but that's to say this entire storm line here from Stafford, Fredericksburg, Port Royal, Bowling Green, moving here to the northeast, and it's going to be moving through much of our region. This line extends all the way down to the Richmond area. All of this will need to clear our region here over the next 1 to 2 hours. We have the northern branch storm, but what about this southern line that's going to be moving through the region here? We're going to take this 37 at 76, so I'm going a little too fast here. 37 at 76. So this is over the next hour, and this is just a look at the different storm timing. King George 5:42. You're already seeing the skies get really dark over that region. Colonial Beach 5:59. Newburgh right around 6:05. Moving into the La Plata area 6:10. But you're probably already seeing rain. But that's not with the main line. We're talking about Charlotte Hall at 6:24. We're going to be talking about Hollywood by 6:35. I see Jackie's asking if there have been any power outages due to these storms. I am personally not looked yet. I've had so many different tabs open, but I can hop on over to the SMECO website quick to see if we have any local reports of outages. I'm sure we've seen power outages in Northern Virginia from these storms, but taking a look quick to see if we have any report of power outages. We do have some over towards the Akakie and Bryans Road area, but that's only like 3 people without power. These storms aren't putting too many people without power, I guess is the message to send here. These are going to be not exactly fast movers. They're only moving at 30 to 40 miles an hour. Typical summertime thunderstorms move between about 40 to 60 miles an hour. So these are going to be moving slow. You can drive faster than these storms are moving up Route 4. You could drive faster on 235 than you could with the speed of these storms. But these storms are producing heavy rain, lightning, and they have a history of producing hail. And we're talking about flooding rains as well with these storms. Lots of lightning with these storms as they continue here to move to the north and east, and these will eventually then push through all of St. Mary's, all of Charles, all of Calvert counties as they continue on their northeast journey. I want to take you back up here quick to our northern branch storm here, looking very healthy right now, just to make sure we're not talking about any signs of rotation. Let me... So, I mean, this little notch here over towards King George, I meant to just look at it with our northern branch, but it's really down here. It's something I'm watching in this region through King George. Maybe we have some early signs of rotation with these storms right now. Nothing that would worry me about producing a tornado, but it is definitely something to keep an eye on as this storm pushes through King George, through Dogger, and eventually approaching the Potomac, Newburgh, and the Allen's Fresh area over the next 15 minutes. That's something I'm going to be watching with this storm, and the reason I say that we're going to be watching that with this storm, if we take it back over to the velocity, what this shows you is where we have winds going towards and away from the radar, and where you can get a nice couplet, where you can get those greens touching those reds in one succinct location. That is indicative of a little bit of rotation, and we are indeed beginning to see maybe some early signs here over towards King George County right here. This area I've circled here just to the west of King George. This is going to be something I'm watching. The good news is that typically with a line of thunderstorms, the tornado threat can be diminished a bit, because instead of having one individual storm sucking up all the energy kind of gets spread out across the storm. So we're talking about more of a straight line wind damage. It's something to watch. We've been noting that potential all day for maybe some rotation with these storms, but right now the primary threat remains damaging winds and hail, potentially up to 1 to 2 inches in diameter. And these storms are here pushing to the north and east, producing a lot of lightning. If you're in King George, you know the lightning. Stafford County is getting walloped with lightning right now, and we are even seeing that here with our northern branch storm. Lots of lightning as this storm now moves into Lower Marlborough, into Dunkirk. Tracy's Landing, you're getting blasted with some rain. Chesapeake Beaches is on your doorstep. Prince Frederick, you probably are going to be a little too far south to get much from this storm. Potentially, if you're north of, let's say Calvert High School points north, maybe you could get into a little bit of rain with this, but I think the most severe portion of this storm is going to be moving through Lower Marlborough, Cheneyville, Owings, Sunderland, on up towards Harwood and Tracy's Landing here over the next 15 minutes as this storm continues here to push to the east, and that's going to be something we're watching. Lots of lightning and a little bit of hail as well. We'll take a look at the latest hail measurement, hail estimations. And again, earlier, I wonder actually if I can zoom out here, and there we go, and kind of put this back in motion to show the history of these storms as they pushed into portions of Charles County. This storm, right around 5 o'clock, let's just pinpoint it here, right at 5 o'clock as it was moving through the Waldorf area, you see we had a nice hail core here, up to 2-inch size hail. Reports of hail came in from Indian Head, but the general progression of the storm is for that hail to begin to diminish a little bit. The storm is beginning to weaken some, but it's still severe, and these storms are here pushing to the east at about 30 to 40 miles per hour. So that hail threat is beginning to diminish, which is good, but we are talking about high winds up to 60 miles per hour with this storm as it continues here to push to the north and east. I'm going to get back over to some of your questions. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. It's hard for me to answer the in my backyard questions, what's going to happen in Hollywood or anything like that. I'll try my best. But, I mean, if you're in Southern Maryland, you'll probably see some storms tonight, I guess is the most low-level answer I can get that's not too long. Let's see. And Mike wanted to know if there was any rotation. I assume that you posted that comment before we were really getting into some of this. We'll come back down here with the new radar scan down here towards King George County. See if we're talking about some rotation, a little bit maybe. Nothing that's too organized, nothing that's put together well, but it's this area right here where we can get those greens and these reds touching, where maybe we can get a little bit of rotation. And thank you, Sharon, for joining. I love distilling information on storms. Do we know when this will hit California? Probably in the next hour or so. What are we looking at for wind gusts in Great Mills? Lana, with these, we could be talking about wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. Let's see, Roy, that's what I thought when I commented earlier. Once it hits the Potomac. Yeah, so Roy, we're going to continue to watch this potential of rotation. This one cell seems to be trying to have a little bit of it's intaking some of that warm air into the system and beginning to see a little bit of early signs of rotation. Yeah, Anita's saying that it's pouring and windy in Dunkirk. And thank you, Janine, for joining. Let's see. Karen saying nothing near 231. Give it some time. You'll probably get in some rain in the next hour or so. Cheryl wants to know about Bowling Green down here in portions of Virginia. Let me turn the telestration off. Let's see. Let's turn telestration off. We want to clear the paintbrush, and we want to finish that up. Bowling Green has had some decent storms move through here over the last little bit. And as radar kind of brings itself together, we can see that we saw that the storms have pushed through Bowling Green. The conditions in Bowling Green beginning to improve down here in portions of central Virginia. Yeah, Kathy's saying it's beginning to get dark in Leonardtown. You could probably see these storms out across the Potomac. And thank you, Shelly. Thank you, Catherine. Yeah, and talking about getting dark in Valley Lake, calm before the storm in Leonardtown. Yep, because we have this entire line here getting ready to push here to the north and east. So let's get a new storm track loaded up on this bad boy. See what we can get put together. If it and that doesn't want to work. So let's just take you back. Let's take you over here when we get this program restarted. It's always something. But yeah, I mean, you can see those orange polygons represent those severe thunderstorm warnings. The northernmost warning has been kind of chipped away at a little bit. Now only includes Calvert and Anne Arundel counties. And now I can take you back over here. It looks like our severe thunderstorm watch has also been cut down a little bit just to include southern Maryland now. But yeah, our severe thunderstorm warning has been cut just for Calvert, northern Calvert, and southern Anne Arundel County. Here, moving to the east, getting some decent rain probably in Huntingtown, Chesapeake Beach, down towards Shadyside, and portions of Tracy's Landing. Yeah, and you can see here the timing with these storms moving into the region likely over the next hour or so. I want to get one of my own storm tracks loaded up here. Let's get the entire segment of the storm here moving at 34 miles an hour at 80. Let's just take it out here. And this kind of gives you that idea for timing with these storms. Let's get those tracking objects loaded off quick, and I'll get this post over to Facebook and Twitter. And since I'm a one-man show, you all get to see me do this live, doing the posting, which I promise you isn't as fun as it sounds, just for those that are unable to join. Yes, this is our first round of thunderstorms of the year for the most part. We've seen some thunderstorms, but our first decent thunderstorm day here since probably last summer, really. And it looks like we have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning in effect for the southern portion of our coverage zone. So I don't need to do this post. It posts automatically for me, which is great. Let's get this turned off. So we have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning in effect for southern Calvert, southern Charles, and St. Mary's counties now. This goes up until, let's get that loaded back. This goes until 6:45, so all the areas here are shaded in orange. Now under the severe thunderstorm warning, this does go into effect until 6:45 this evening. So let me get this loaded up on over towards Facebook and Twitter to attach the radar image. Orange polygon. Let's see. The storm has a history of producing. Move indoors now. And live coverage. And I will come back and give and talk to you more about this warning here in just a second. I just want to make sure that this warning gets easily done. It seems like with technology, it's never that as easy as you would think it is. And we don't need to listen to that. Live coverage. Awesome. Save. Oh. Awesome. Oh. I remember during Hurricane Isaias, I would spend like 2 or 3 minutes quiet just trying to get these warnings that it's not easy work. But severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for southern portions of our viewing area. Let's get that warning text loaded. Let me get the latest information here on this. And I also need to update the ticker as well. That would be helpful. Where did you go? Awesome. And I see, let's see, hail and Owings. Yeah, I would believe that. We've seen hail with that storm that's moving through the northern portion of our region. But let's get the latest storm information out here for you now that we are all updated. So severe thunderstorm warning for St. Mary's County, Southern Calvert County, and Central Charles County until 6:45. All those areas here you see shaded in orange. 548 severe thunderstorms are located along a line extending from 6 miles southeast of Quantico to near Leadstown, moving east at 50 miles per hour. The main threat here is going to be with wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. Damaging winds will cause some trees and large branches to fall. That's going to enter those outdoors, as well as damage homes and vehicles. Roadways may become blocked by downed trees as well. Locations impacted include, but are not limited to, Lexington Park, the Chesapeake Ranch Estates, La Plata, Leonardtown, Prince Frederick, Piney Point, Tall Timbers, St. Indigo's Creek, Nanjemoyne Creek, St. Mary City, Pope's Creek, Greenwell State Park, Howling Point, St. Leonard Creek, Town Creek, St. Mary's River, White Point Beach, and St. George Island, as well as Sheridan Point there for you over towards portions of our region. Let's bring that warning text back up. Yeah, we're talking about wind up to 60 miles per hour, hail nearing an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch, and we have a lot of lightning with these storms as they're beginning here to move to the north and east. We're already seeing very heavy rain here move through the Nanjemoyne area, nearing Newburgh, and we'll see if we have any hail indications with this right now. And the National Weather Service right now is not indicating a threat of a tornado with this, which is good news. Where you can see, it might be easier if I can turn off all the colors here, where you see some of these light blues and some of these yellows, this indicates some hail. So we're talking hail potentially up, again, maybe 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch size hail beginning to near the Potomac River. Let's take you back over here to our normal radar product. Let's turn those watches and warnings back on. See if we have that special marine warning in effect. We do. Let's turn that off, just making sure. But again, we're talking about a decent, this line is going to produce heavy rain. We've had a history of flooding with this line, producing flash flood warnings back out to the west. That's what this green polygon represents here for you. And this line is pushing to the east, northeast, and will continue to impact parts of our region. If you're in Southern Calvert County, St. Mary's, or Southern Charles County, move indoors now, get away from windows. This is not currently producing a tornado, but you want to treat it as such. You want to just move into a more interior portion of your house, lowest level if you can. And it looks like we're getting the severe thunderstorm watch is continuing to get trimmed back a little bit. And it's been canceled now for D.C., Fairfax, Prince William, Stafford, Fredericksburg, and Spotsylvania counties. Those areas are no longer under the severe thunderstorm watch. It's just southern Maryland now. And once this line moves through, we're not talking about an additional round. This is pretty much it for today. We'll probably do this again tomorrow with the potential of severe storms. But we're going to continue to watch this line. I see Drew, I believe that's how you pronounce that. It shows up weird on my screen, but Drew, does this include Brooms Island? As we zoom in, and I knew I loaded Brooms Island into the computer. This does. In Calvert County, this is all areas south of Prince Frederick, really south of the 231 Benedict Bridge. Same deal over towards portions of Charles County, areas south of La Plata, south of Hughesville, under that warning, and all of St. Mary's County is included in that warning. I'm going to load back up the tracking objects from the National Weather Service. I want to see That's not what I wanted to do. Yeah, so this is the timing here for the southern portion of this line, moving into Lexington Park, Solomon's, Lusby here over the next half hour to 45 minutes. And the northern portion of this line will then be moving into portions of Calvert County, northern St. Mary's, northern portions, or southern portions of Charles County as well, and getting into those regions by about 6:30, 6:40. So do keep that in mind. This northern branch storm here is nearing the shoreline. It's sitting right on the shoreline. You're seeing the rain let up a little bit in Dunkirk. It's pouring in Chesapeake Beach right now, and on over towards Shady Side, North Beach, Friendship. These areas we're looking at a decent amount of rain at the moment. But we're going to continue to watch all of this, and we'll see if we have any new updates here on our webcam network. See if we can't get that loaded up quickly. Let's take you over here. So this would be along the DC Beltway. Lots of rain over that way. Chesapeake Beach, taking a look at that camera, you can see a little bit of hail here falling with this storm, and that is not surprising. We have seen this storm have a history of hail, and you can very easily see that here on our traffic camera here in Chesapeake Beach at 260 at Cox Road, and we're looking at some ponding there on the roadways as well. This is why as these storms push through, you're going to want to limit travel as well. Shauna wants to know how long these storms are going to last. Probably about 30 minutes or so. So just move inside, stay with JB Weather for the latest, but in about a half hour or so, once the rain begins, we should begin to see them let up a little bit. Michelle is reporting thunder over towards the Benedict Bridge, and actually we have a Benedict Bridge camera here, and you can see the darkening skies back here, back to the north and west, or up towards the north here, as these storms begin to move in, and I suspect eventually we'll begin to see rain with this camera as well. Taking a look at some of our 301 Harry Nice Bridge traffic cameras, you will very easily be able to see heavy rain. You can't even see the crest of the bridge as these storms move through right now, and you're going to want to use caution traveling. Again, if we take a look over towards Leonardtown, you can see some darkening skies back up along the way. We take a look over towards the Thomas Johnson Bridge. It looks very much like a summer-like day. You can see traffic is well and alive with rush hour right now up along 235 in St. Mary's County. And we're not looking at rain down towards the south. It's right now on up towards the north where we're looking at heavy rain. And taking you back to the Chesapeake Beach camera, you can see all of that hail right now with the heavy rain. You can see the hail bouncing as well. I mean, it's very easy to see where we're looking at hail with these storms, and it's going to be something we need to continue to watch as well. And that isn't just with our northern bound storm. We now have a little bit of a fire up with one of our storms now in between Huntingtown and Prince Frederick. This looks to be over towards, looks like Calvert Memorial Hospital right here with this additional storm firing up, and this is going to be pushing here to the east, nearing Willows and Dares Beach over the next little bit. If you're in Charles County, you saw heavy rain a little bit ago. You're seeing the heavy rain push back in. You're talking about a lot of lightning, a little bit of hail, but that flooding rain and damaging winds as well. Thank you, Kari, for joining. We saw funnel clouds. Stacey, where are you? Where'd you see that? Knowing a location for that would help to kind of narrow down what would be happening. And Stacey's saying in Chesapeake Beach. And I mean, we weren't looking at too much rotation earlier. We'll take a look again. And any rotation, I mean, actually, I would maybe believe that given this little bit of a radar signature. And for those of you that have been just now joining, again, I'm Forecaster John Bordash, keeping you up to date with the latest. When we talk about watching for the potential of rotation with storms, it's where you can get the greens that are represented here on our velocity scan to get a nice tight couplet with some reds. That indicates winds going away and towards the radar. I mean, you get a nice couplet that indicates some rotation. And we do see that right here as it's crossing the bay. This was back here just a little bit ago, so we've seen this push into the bay. So I would not doubt, Stacey, that you probably did see a funnel cloud as this storm is trying to pulsate again and maybe get a little bit stronger. What I do want to take a look at is to see if we have any continued signs of rotation with our southern line of storms. no succinct areas, no immediate concerns for rotation right now. We're seeing some high winds, though, where you see these brightest pinks. This indicates winds up over 50, 60 miles per hour. And since we're so far away from the radar site where we are here in southern Maryland, that it is these wind speeds are likely underdone a little bit. But no tight areas of rotation right now. We have a long area where we have some greens touching the reds, but you want a nice tight couplet for that to be happening, and we don't see that right now, which is good news. But what we are seeing is this heavy rain that's now really pushed through much of Charles County. Much of Charles County is seeing heavy rain right now pushing into Chaptico, Mechanicsville, Helen, on over towards Loveville, Leonardtown, Bushwood. These are the areas right now, Cobb Island, seeing the heavy rain begin to push in. See if you have any social media reports right now of any confirmed severe weather reports. One thing we did have yesterday, we actually just got a report of an EF2 tornado that touched down over towards, oh, there we go, the spam. There we go, let's block that. I remember these spam things about COVID relief or whatever. They were a lot. Those spam messages came a lot during this winter, during the winter storms. But down here in Northumberland County, over towards Lewiston, we had an EF2 tornado confirmed yesterday that went unwarned. So you don't need to be under a severe warning for there to be severe weather at your location. So keep that in mind. And even though that there are no tornado warnings in effect right now, keep in mind that potential of a little bit of quick rotation is possible. And I am seeing a couple of people wondering about the potential for water spouts. I believe we got a picture sent in here to the Facebook page, which I can quickly load up here. I think Kari thinks that's funny. Yeah, but maybe some potential water spouts. So this is something just to keep in mind as well as these storms continue to push here to the north and east. Let's see, just light rain at the moment in Huntingtown, a couple miles west of Plum Point. Yeah, and that actually surprises me, Brian, since we have this little bit of a little bit of a storm trying to fire up here close to the Plum Point area. But nevertheless, you'll see all of this heavy rain push in. And yeah, Gary, I know. Referring to the spam, I guess JB Weather's gotten big enough now to attract those the spammers. But again, here's a look at the different storm timing. We're first going to take a look at the southern portion of this line, pushing into Chaptico by about 6:16. I mean, it's pushing in right now. We know that. But into Leonardtown over the next 20 minutes, pushing into Lexington Park by about 6:30, on over towards Solomon's by about 6:35. Let's see, Laura's saying heavy wind and hard rain in Newburgh down by Cobb Island, and we do indeed see that here on radar. Yeah, I mean, Cobb Island getting blasted, and where you get the onset of this line pushing through, you're going to see winds pick up drastically as cold air is rushing up through that downdraft with those winds. In Oklahoma for years, and they have the best meteorologists. I appreciate that, Aaron. I'm not sure I could realistically rank up with the meteorologists out towards like Oklahoma City who deal with this very frequently, but I do appreciate the compliment. I just try to deliver information in a way that people understand. Actually, let me do my own storm track here, not using the National Weather Service one, so we can get that turned off right now. And our northern severe thunderstorm warning has actually just now been canceled, so let's get that out of the ticker text there. And let's get this storm track here loaded up. Entire line here, we're tracking 37 at 77, so 37 at 77, there we go. And this gives you an idea of when you're going to expect the leading edge of these storms to move in. Golden Beach, 611, I mean, and I'm sure it's beginning to rain right now. Hollywood 6:18, Prince Frederick by 6:22, Sunderland 6:26, Lusby, and down towards Lexington Park by about 6:30. Chesapeake Ranch Estate 6:32, and Cambridge over on the eastern shore eventually by 7:04. Yeah, Sherry's saying it's very windy in Montrose right now, and down towards Westmoreland County here. Zooming in Montrose, you're right there on the leading edge of this, and I'm sure you're beginning to see that heavy rain begin to move in. Looks like a little bit of hail core here just to the north of Tappahannock that'll end up moving through portions of Richmond County, eventually moving into southern portions of Westmoreland County down near Kinsale, Acorn, that region. I'm trying to get a little bit better with my geography knowledge of the northern neck with the growing following down that way. Let's see, let's bring back up that estimated hail size, and yeah, we do indeed have hail down here through portions of Essex County, down in portions of northern Virginia, up to 1.5 inches. That'll be moving north of Tappahannock. We are also getting hail reports here through from about Newburgh down towards Cobb Island here, through the southern Charles County Peninsula. That will be moving to the north and east as well. Let's see, Aaron, I'm standing outside in Hollywood waiting for it to come in. The thunder just started. That's awesome. When you can hear that roar of the thunder back across the way. Something in Leonardtown, I now would believe that. Let's actually take a look back at our chart cameras quickly. Let's bring up that Leonardtown camera again. Let's get you back over here to current conditions. Our Leonardtown camera here, 243 at Maryland 5 North. Not showing any rain right now, but you can see a darkening of the skies back along the way. Taking it on over towards the Thomas Johnson Bridge, you can see a darkening of the skies just generally as well. This is taking a look at 4 at 235 here, 4 east. And I believe, if memory serves correct, and it doesn't always, so I need to zoom in to make sure. Yeah, this is, I believe the orientation of this is that I believe you have the Wawa down in this region where my cursor is down there. That's the way I kind of measure where things are, where the nearest Wawa is, right? If we take a look back over toward Chesapeake Beach, you can still see some of those hailstones from earlier being left, and we still have some rain out that way. Taking a look back at that Benedict Bridge camera, camera's moving around a little bit as those winds continue to increase. You can see those clouds back here, those dark clouds as well. And over towards Indian Head, I'm not sure if we're still seeing... We're seeing some rain over there, but I suspect our 301 cameras will show that heavy rain. Traffic moving a little bit slower than you would expect at this point on a Tuesday as traffic continues to go out. We can now see the top part, the crest of the Harry Nice Bridge. We weren't always able to see that. But the heaviest of this rain right now is pushing here into northern portions of St. Mary's County. What I will do is do another quick Facebook update with this, which will require at least a couple, probably a minute or two of me not talking much, so my apologies. And yeah, so 37 at 77. Actually, what I really want to do is kind of zoom out here. Doing storm tracks is an art. I've learned this over the years. Let's see, 37 at 77. Yeah, that'll work. So let's get this posted on up quickly to Facebook and Twitter here for those that are unable to join our live coverage. And our severe the severe thunderstorm warnings we included now to cover the rest of the northern neck. Just got that in on my phone. So let's get this radar image posted up at 6:10 right now. Let's see, storms is continuing to march eastward through. These storms are producing heavy rain, frequent lightning, damaging winds to 60, and hail up to 1 inch. Move indoors now. Estimated impact times are shown. We have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning for. It's when I'm do one of these Facebook posts that we get another. No, it's not actually a severe thunderstorm warning shown below. I actually believe it's just an extension here onto the eastern shore, and you can see that there. All right, let's get this posted. Let's get back into this quickly. I swear, Facebook is one of the worst platforms I use to post weather content, honestly. It takes a good minute for something to post, but let's get back into it. Let's get back on track here. New severe thunderstorm warning up for Westmoreland County. Let's get out of here. Interact. We want to do that. So up here for portions of Westmoreland County, Lancaster County, Richmond County, Essex County. This goes until 7 o'clock for the southern edge of this line. As these storms here continue to push north and east, the southern part of the line is going to be moving into Lexington Park, Valley, Lee, Scotland here over the next little bit. And we're continuing to see this heavy rain coming back up into our core part of the coverage area, moving into portions of central St. Mary's County into southern Calvert County here. And I want to make sure, since again, Facebook is honestly one of the worst mediums I use to post weather content. Got to make sure that this actually posted. Okay, which it did. But yes, so let me get out of that. Oh, okay. Enough about me ranting. Let me come over to your comments, see if we have anything to look at quick. Let's see. Yeah, thundering and heavy rain over toward Charlotte Hall. Stop to let the storm pass at Chaptico Market. Shouldn't be long. Darker now over Island Creek, Protection River. You can hear the thunder rolling in. Hey, John, thanks for the coverage. It's dark in Redgate. I believe that, Jennifer. How long will these storms last in Calvert County? Penny, probably about a good half hour or so. Yeah, it's nuts out towards Clements. I would believe that. Christine wants to know about the 7:05 Nats game. It should be good to go. Probably will be delayed a little bit, and I'm hoping these storms move out enough time for me to catch that, because I can't watch the Nats game and do this at the same time. Let's see. Sounded like a hurricane at one point, Kim is saying. Crazy storm in Mechanicsville right now. Lightning and thunder at the Benedict Bridge. And getting dark in Leonardtown right now. So yeah, I mean, we have this. Well, you can really kind of see almost the curly Q fashion of this, kind of how it goes like this, which indicates to me we're going to be talking about straight line winds with this as it continues here to move to the north and east. It's a wide branch of heavy rain, lightning, gusty winds, hail up to 1 inch in diameter, falling within this line. We have different points of this, and we're going to take a look to see if we have any updated areas of rotation as well. That's something we need to continue to monitor today. And I'm not seeing any one area of rotation to really be watching, but what we are seeing is that some of the highest winds right now are moving right through the Loveville area. Going to be getting here close to Hollywood. It's right down here just north of Leonardtown through Loveville on up towards Hollywood, where we see these bright pinks right here. This is where we're talking about winds up 50, 60, maybe 65 miles per hour. And this is going to be moving into the Chesapeake Ranch Estate, Solomons, and Lesbia areas. So do keep that in mind, that you're going to see a decent amount of wind as these storms begin to move in. What I want to do actually is take us back over to our live cameras. This will help us to really see what's going on across the region. Let's take it back over here. I want to take a look over towards our Leonardtown camera. That should be showing some activity now. And yeah, you can see power lines are wiggling all around. Traffic is slowed a little bit. We're looking at heavy rain moving back in. Over towards For at 2:35, you can see where we're looking at a little bit of darkening skies. No rain there just yet. Over towards the Benedict Bridge, you can see it's dark. It visibly looks very dark right now. Winds are throwing waves all around. Down towards Callaway right now. No rain just yet, and I suspect the same is going to be true. Yeah, here in Lexington Park, on over towards the Thomas Johnson Bridge. Nothing at the moment, but we are going to be looking at these storms to begin to move in, and we could be looking at a decent amount of rain, and you're going to hear a lot of lightning as well. And the reason we're talking about lightning today is because these storms are very tall. And what I can actually do here, what I'm going to try to do, I haven't done this in a hot minute because it's been a little bit, and actually, we can see we have storm report damage coming in now. We're looking at buoy reports of winds up to 60, winds up to 70 miles per hour along the Potomac River with this line. I want to see if I can't just take a cross section here quickly of our storm. And I'm not sure. I guess that works to show you. What you can see here, and this gets a little technical, but this, what radar does is it measures a storm through all levels of the atmosphere. And what we're doing right now is we're literally, I'm going to do it again to show you, we're literally going to take a cross slice here of this storm. You see where that line is, and that then allows us to see what's going on with the storm. What this is telling me right now, and can I make that a little bit bigger? What this is showing me right now is where you see this, down here is the ground. So this storm is up over about 40,000 feet right now, which is pretty high up. And where you see this red area here getting lifted aloft, so about 20,000 feet into the air, that would be a sign to me that we are looking at some hail with this moving through the Leonardtown region that's getting tossed around. We're looking at additional hail as well. And as we just look throughout the storm, where you get some right in the peak of this line, you can see, again, this is a vertical slice of the storm. Down here is the surface, and I want to see if quickly, give me 1 second actually. I haven't had to use the pen tool in God knows how long, and I don't even know where the pen tool is anymore. But we're going to continue to see these storms move into the region and cause a decent amount of, drop a decent amount of rain across the region. I want to see, though, if I can't just find my pen tool quick, and if I can't find it, I can't find it. I thought I had this, though. And maybe I don't. There it is. I found it. No worries. It should be loading somewhere up here. Somewhere on the screen we will see. There she goes. I haven't used this bad boy since winter. What we're talking about with this storm, and I use blue just so it's easier to see. Down here is the surface. This is what we're talking about here at the base. Up here, this storm is reaching up to 45,000 feet up into the atmosphere. And where you're seeing right through here, these reds indicative of higher returns on the radar above the surface, that is showing us, or we're looking at that potential for hail to be getting tossed around in the upper portions of the thunderstorm. I know this got a little bit technical, and I know this can be a little difficult to understand. It takes people years. You take several courses on how to interpret radar information. So if that didn't make that much sense to you, that's fine. But you see lots of lightning with this storm, and that's because we're talking about a decent amount of hail with this. The severe thunderstorm warning has indeed been updated right now. Let's get the latest warning text on this. The latest with this, let's see, the severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 6:45 for St. Mary's County and southern Calvert counties. The severe thunderstorms are located along a line extending from Howling Point to near Coles Point, moving east at 50 miles per hour. Judy saying it's hitting Sandgates full force. Holy crap is what she said. Wind just came in on St. John's Road between St. Leonard and Hollytown. Thunder over towards Lesby, thunder in the Ranch Club. And yeah, that's what we're talking about with this line of storms. They're producing a lot of wind. And these storms are producing very heavy rain as well. This is where the current line of storms is. Port Republic, this is right on your doorstep. think this timing might even be a little bit late for you. But this is pushing into Lusby right now, the Chesapeake Ranch Estates, into Lexington Park as the storm continues. And the severe thunderstorm warning does remain in effect until 6:45. We're looking at heavy rain and hail also moving through Westmoreland County, Essex County, down towards Lancaster County, Northumberland counties. This is where we're going to continue to talk about heavy rain moving through the region. But let's not forget about you up north as well. You're talking about heavy rain still moving through Waldorf, southern PG County, through portions of Huntingtown, northern Calvert County. So just because you're not under that severe thunderstorm warning does not mean you're not seeing heavy rain as well. Taking a look at our velocities one more time, we are continuing to see winds upwards of 50 to 60 miles per hour, where we see the deepest pink or the brightest pink colors. I'm not seeing any one succinct areas of rotation right now, which is good news. We would talk about that, where we would see some of these green, if we saw some bright greens coming together with some bright pinks. Not this green, though. It's a little confusing. What this does tell us, we're talking about pretty decently heavy rain, and we're talking about straight line winds really being a concern here, potentially up to 60 miles per hour or so. Also saying dark clouds and rubbling over towards California, and again, that doesn't surprise me. I suspect as we take a look back over here at our traffic cameras, let's come back to our current look right now. Let's take a look back over towards the Leonardtown area. We can still see very heavy rain. This picture is now very muddled right now. As we take a look over towards Callaway, nothing really just yet. Lexington Park, though, on up towards California, you're seeing skies are getting dark. We're beginning to see the rain fall. And over towards the Thomas Johnson Bridge, you can see on the St. Mary's side here, we're talking about it's beginning to get dark where this camera is situated. Taking you back over to radar, though, the heaviest rain right now really crossing the Patuxent into Prince Frederick, Port Republic, St. Leonard, Brooms Island. This is right on your doorstep, moving into Hollywood, over through California, Callaway, Valley Lee, Lexington Park. And we're going to see the southern portion of this line that is producing hail. Let's get that hail estimation back up here. We have several areas of hail getting reported with this, and this is indicative here of these colors. Hail is getting estimated up to about an inch in size, had already moved through Loveville, moving through portions of Hollywood, northern portions of Hollywood, another hail core here through portions of Leonardtown, and I was just showing you that on our radar slice. That's an exclusive tool here. We have a JP weather to keep you one step ahead of the storm. You're not going to see that anywhere else with any coverage you're able to find. And we have additional hail cores here down towards the Tappahannock area. That's going to be moving into Warsaw, Lyles, Kinsale, Erica over the next 15 minutes, and eventually this will move into Piney Point in Scotland over the next half hour or so. Taking you back over to normal radar reflectivity. You can see we have that hail core I was talking about that just moved through Loveville, moving through Hollywood, now beginning to cross the Patuxent, impacting Brooms Island. Lusby and the Chesapeake Ranch Estates, I would expect hail there as well here over the next 30 minutes or so as these storms continue to push through. We got pretty warm today. The humidity was there today. That's allowed enough juice in the atmosphere to support these storms. And down towards Tappahannock, you're talking about a decent thunderstorm line pushing through that area. So this is what we're going to continue to watch. Drew is saying getting nasty out in Brooms Island, lots of thunder, lightning, and wind. Thank you for the compliment. Windy in California getting reported by Thomas. So yeah, we're seeing the core here of this line pushing through the heart of our coverage zone. Heavy rain and a decent amount of hail as well with this. Let me get this up over to social media, which of course means that there won't be as much discussion from me over the next minute or so as I get this together. Because Facebook tends to require my complete devotion because it doesn't always want to post. So let's just get this up with William Richmond Inc. Radar. And after everything has gone through, take a look over at our sponsors. Check them out. They've been running the entire time. These are great businesses that support me and allow me to do this as a full-time job as I continue on my college degree. Nasty storms. Let's see, continuing to push through the region. Heavy rain, gusty winds, hail, and lightning are all these. Remain indoors as these storms pass. We should now by 7 p.m. All right, let's get this posted up over to Facebook, over to Twitter. Let's see. Thank you, Kari, for the compliment. I appreciate it. I try my best with the coverage. Lights flickering here in Wildwood, and I'm taking a look at Smeko here in a hot second. And we do have a couple of reports of outages right now. Smeko is only reporting up to around 150 people without power, but that's something to note. And thank you, Karen, for the compliment. I love providing information. California now has high winds, downpouring rain, thunder, and lightning. Yeah, and these are moving in pretty fast, and they kind of move in all of a sudden almost. So we're going to get a new radar scan in here in any moment now, as our live scan radar continues to update here, brought to you by William Richmond, Inc. We're continuing to watch this line push through the region. I want to see... as we wait for the latest radar update to come in, we're talking about the heaviest rain and the highest potential of hail to be moving into the Lesbi and down towards Chesapeake, Ranch Estate, Solomons here over probably the next 10-15 minutes. So move indoors and stay indoors. Radar right now is not picking up on any rain over towards areas like Cove Point and Drum Point. Take this time to move indoors as severe thunderstorm warning remains in place here over the next like 15 minutes or so. Let me make sure that the warning text ticker is updated. That's in effect until 7, not 6:15 anymore. No longer, and it looks like we're still awaiting that last scan. And no severe thunderstorm warning anymore for King George County. And it no longer includes Charles County. Alright, that should be all updated. But we are seeing lots of light. I mean, over here towards, latest radar scan shows this hail core right here. Let's get back in here with our mesh product. This shows us this hail core right here. And this shows us hail potentially up to 1 inch, down towards 1 inch near Callaway. Looking at additional hail upwards of 3/4 of an inch here. This is all pushing to the north and east. So this is the hail. It's moving into Lexington Park, Solomons, Lesbi here over the next little bit. And we're talking about hail up to 3/4 inch size, also moving through portions like White Sands. So we're going to continue to watch this. So let's get that base velocity back up. Take a look at our latest information here with the winds. And I still don't see any succinct location of rotation right now, which is great news. What I do see, though, with these bright pings is indicative of very high winds as these storms push in. If you're in Lesbi, the Chesapeake Ranch Estate, Solomons, Lexington Park, you're likely seeing these winds pick up right now, and they're picking up pretty fast. And the rain will continue to fall here at a decent clip for the next little bit. I would actually be very interested quickly to take a look back over at our traffic cameras to get an updated look at what's going on as these storms are now moving into an area where we do have coverage. And you can see, we were looking at this Thomas Johnson bridge camera not long ago, and it was clear. You can't even see the bridge anymore. It is 100% just whited out. Over here towards California, you can see that rain. This has changed. All of a sudden, we're talking about heavy rain now moving into the region. Down towards Lexington Park, you can see just waves of rain moving into the region, slowing traffic along with those winds, along with the hail. This is why we've been promoting this idea of severe weather this afternoon and evening. This is not, this isn't a joke, and I can't imagine these people driving all that well being able to see too well right now. Down towards Callaway, we can see that rain beginning to push in as well. Definitely, I mean, not as dramatic as this scene. The Thomas Johnson Bridge, you're not seeing very much right now. And you could, I mean, this scene is very telling, and I'll let this play out here over the next 30 seconds or so. You can see the heavy rain pushing through here in Lexington Park, 235 at 237. Cars are having a hard time staying on the road, really, because we're talking about the heavy rain pushing in along with the winds. You can just see the waves of rain pushing through the region. And you can see the flooding ongoing as well here in the middle of the intersection. And you know, when we talk about flash flooding, we want to turn around, don't drown. You don't know how deep the water is here. And again, this is a live look here in Lexington Park. This is a live exclusive camera we have access to. And this is showing a severe weather situation unfolding here, and this is very dramatic, and this really does back up what we're seeing here on radar. Where that camera is located is right down here in the heart of this dark orange. The severe thunderstorm warning has, we have a new update here. Let's interact with it. It's continuing until 6:45 for portions of Calvert County, St. Mary's County here over the next little bit. Any interest over towards the eastern shore, you're gonna, if you have any interest towards Dorchester County, Wycomico County, let those people know. Be aware that this is moving through. But this isn't just impacting the southern portions of these counties. We're talking about heavy rain and lightning and hail pushing up here through portions of northern Calvert County. We're talking about a decent amount of rain really pushing into the region, and we're talking about an additional area of severe weather down here towards the northern neck that's going to be moving in to portions of St. Mary's County as well as the southern tip here of St. Mary's County. But you can really see here in the heart of our coverage zone through portions of southern Calvert County through central St. Mary's County, we have a lot of lightning, a lot of heavy rain. As we take this back over here towards our mesh product to estimate that hail size, you can see almost a line here of hail up to 1 inch in size moving into the region. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning up for Dorchester County. We were just mentioning this, and this is why you want to stay tuned to JB Weather for information really before you're going to find it anywhere else. We're talking about severe weather now pushing onto the eastern shore. Will then be out of our coverage zone, so this won't be something we will need to worry about anymore. But behind this line, there isn't much going on. This is the line that's going to move through in about a half hour. It will take about a half hour or so to move through with these storms. And I think we should begin to see clearing here by about 7 o'clock or so. Beginning to see clearing. Just to make sure I said that correctly. We'll see if we can get precip estimations here, just to get an idea of the amount of rain that we've seen across the region. And I don't think that this is fully updated, and that's fine. We'll just come back over here to reflectivity, but we've seen a lot of rain get put down here. And let's take you back on over here to our traffic cameras. This will help them really, I think, tell the story with what we're taking a look at. You can still see, look at all of this heavy rain that's now pushed into Lexington Park. You can see a flooding situation ongoing here at the intersection of 235 on over towards 237. Taking a look now over towards the Thomas Johnson Bridge, you're still looking at heavy rain pushing through the region. You can't even see the crest of the bridge right now, so use caution as you travel across the region. Over towards Callaway, we're beginning to see the rain pick up here. You can see the rain falling at a decent clip here, 246 at 5, as we begin to see the rain now push into portions of southern St. Mary's County. Leonardtown, you're looking a little better, looking much better than you were earlier. Benedict, you're still looking at some rain, definitely not as heavy. Taking a look on over towards Indian Head, we're beginning to see some clearing. And over towards 301, last but not least, you can see, maybe not necessarily sun because of the camera quality, but you can see that the rain is beginning to let up out across the way as well. But I want to take you just back to this Lexington Park camera. It's been the most dramatic scene. The rain has let up a little bit, and you can see we just had a flash of lightning indicative of that weird color combo here. And we have a lot of lightning with these storms. We are talking, I mean, really the core of this right now. And it's very interesting to see this, where we have the core of this lightning, and this is, sorry, this is really interesting to me. Really right here, where the Thomas Johnson Bridge is. And the reason that is so important is because if you've traveled the Thomas Johnson Bridge before, you know at the crest of the bridge, you have some of those poles up there that shine lights that tell, planes that are traveling through the area, there's a bridge here. That would be a reason we're seeing additional lightning here, and the bridge that goes up over the river is the only thing over the river, so it acts as an attractor for the lightning, and we're seeing that right now. really focused here on the Thomas Johnson Bridge, so it's not a surprise that, I mean, literally, we have the Thomas Johnson Bridge here going into Solomon's. You're talking about the majority of that lightning. The heavy rain continues to push through the region, though. We're beginning to clear things up gradually in Charles and St. Mary's counties, north of Leonardtown. For the most part, the rain isn't as heavy. It's still raining. It may be, in some cases, a moderate rain, but it's not nearly as heavy as it once was. The leading edge of our bow echo now has pushed through much of Calvert County. You're seeing the heaviest the northern edge pushed back through Chesapeake Beach. You just had rain earlier, and we're seeing additional areas of rain push here through southern Calvert County, really from about White Sands south. The entire county seeing rain, but we're talking the heaviest rain right now, and we're seeing this continuing to push through portions of St. Mary's County, Callaway, Valley, Lee, St. Mary City, down towards Scotland and Dameron, and eventually down there towards Ridge. You're talking about those areas of heavy rain continuing to push through. Our mesh product, the estimated hail size, as that product gradually begins to load, and we'll see if it wants to load. But the update with the lightning shows a continuous burst of lightning pushing through southern portions of Calvert County. It's really kind of focusing here through Lesbian and the Chesapeake Ranch Estates. Give me 1 second. Talking for as long as I have can wear your voice out. Well, what we can see is I don't think the hail estimator is going to load here. The severe thunderstorm watch has been canceled for Anne Arundel, PG, Charles, and Anne Arundel counties. It's just in effect for Calvert, St. Mary's, and Westmoreland counties as this line is moving through. Beth says it sounds like a bomb is going off. That wouldn't surprise me, honestly. Look at all of this lightning down in this area. We're looking at a lot of lightning pushing through southern portions of Calvert County and through St. Mary's County as this line continues to push through. The rain will begin to let up here over the next half hour or so, and we've said that continuously. This won't be an all-night rain event, and really by about between 7 and 8 we're going to really clear things out. It's going to take a little longer down here towards the southern tip of St. Mary's County, down here towards Scotland. You haven't seen much in the way of rain just yet. Most of it's been to your north, but it's this rain over here towards Westmoreland County, on over towards portions of Richmond County. That's going to be pushing up into your area here over the next 15 minutes. So it's going to continue to rain a little longer down towards Dameron, Scotland, Ridge, Point Lookout. And this was the same area that just had an EF2 tornado move through yesterday that went completely unwarned by the National Weather Service. Linda is saying that Pax River, howling winds, hard rain, it's pouring in Valley Lee. Pat is saying, Lesby is getting it, and Caree Kathy is saying, it's pretty much done in Mechanicsville. That's the report we're getting from Mike. Let's see. Daryl's saying winds were so strong here in Lexington Park that water was being blown up. Yeah, I believe that. And I mean, Daryl, we were looking at that live here on our traffic cameras of Lexington Park. Let's take you back over here just to get an updated look as this wants to refresh. Let's take a look back over towards the Thomas Johnson Bridge. Conditions already beginning to improve. We saw drastically like that. You couldn't even see this part of the bridge up here, the crest of the bridge. And this is what was attracting all of that lightning. That still is trying to attract that lightning. But as the storm continues to push eastward, we're beginning to see conditions improve across the region. You can still see that flash of lightning going as well. Down towards Lexington Park, this scene is nowhere near as dramatic as it once was. You still see residual water being left here on area roads, so do use caution as you head out and you drive. And we're seeing fire truck move through. Again, another thing that you're seeing first on JB, whether something's going on. But we're going to continue to watch. Is on up towards California here, 4 at 2:35. We're beginning to see improving conditions. The rain is continuing. The wind is still rather gusty, but you're no longer seeing those almost whiteout conditions where you're not really able to see in front of you. We're not seeing the waves of rain move through the region, which is very good news as well. So we're going to continue to just monitor conditions across the region as this line moves out. But we have another severe risk tomorrow. We're going to rinse and repeat for tomorrow. I don't know if the storms are going to necessarily be like this. We're producing a lot of lightning. And what I actually want to do is capture an image of this and put it up over to social media. People love when there's You see those their town names showing up like this. Let's see. Radar, and we're sitting at 6. Alright, let's get that posted on over to Twitter as well. Yeah, and actually what I want to show here, I'm not sure where this was, but one of the people I follow here on Twitter, Robbie here, is showing, I mean, look at this, the way the storm cloud looks. Again, I'm not too sure where this is, but I mean, anywhere in southern Maryland, I mean, I would believe that. Yeah, I'm not too sure, but I mean, we've all seen this story here play out across the area with heavy rain just pushing in, and radar is actually, looks like it's trying to pick up on maybe a little bit of rotation here now over lower portions of the bay. Let's bring it back over here, take a deeper look in. Okay, just trying to make sure that we had fixed that. Let's just take a look here. I'm not sure why we're seeing... oh, I do see why. Yeah, I mean, maybe a little bit of rotation now. I mean, these storms that had earlier pushed through Lexington Park, we're beginning to see, and this is what we were talking about earlier, wanting to see if we're trying to see an area of rotation. This region up and through here, really this region where we see these bright greens touching those bright reds, indicative of maybe a little bit of rotation. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is spawning a water spout right now over the Chesapeake Bay. And you can see that inflow notch right here as we see rain really trying to wrap in. So let's get this cleared off quickly. Clear, finish. Let's zoom out. Yeah, so it's been quite an active day. We can see how these storms really just pushed in today, and they continue to move through. But we are now beginning to see things calm down a little bit across much of the region. We saw these storms moving very fast. And if you were in northern portions of the region, you saw 2 rounds of storms. We saw this storm initially that's now near Easton move through PG, northern Calvert, southern Anne Arundel, northern Charles counties. And then we saw the main line push through, which brought additional rain. I want to see quickly off screen as if we have just take a look at that rotation one more time. I mean, it's not as impressive as it could be, but yeah, so this is what we're talking about. Things have begun to quiet down, and I think we're going to continue to see things generally quiet down as things continue to move on throughout the evening. We will continue to see things clear up as we head through today, through the rest of the evening, rather. So, I want to say that about does it for storm coverage for me right now. This has been a very active day and a very active evening, rather. But we will have the chance of thunderstorms again. I showed this earlier for people. This is the current storm outlook. I want to see... Yeah, I'll post this up on social media soon. I was working on my forecast earlier. This is going to be our trend the next couple of days. Today we reached up to 88. Tomorrow we have another chance of thunderstorms. Will they be as severe? Probably not, but that chance remains. But temperatures are going to be in a cooling trend, and we're going to see cooler temperatures here over the next week or so, really. Let's see. Just going through some of the comments now. Let's see, Mike, if you can, please, in Dover. We have to finish this cornfield before it rains. Over towards Dover, you maybe have another half hour, 45 minutes, Mike, if you were still watching. The rain's let up here a little bit in California. Lots of lightning and thunder. I'm sure you can hear that off in the distance. The wind has stopped in Leonardtown. While I read these, I'll bring it back over here to radar quick. Thank you, Margaret, for following. It's been a very, I don't know, we're going on over an hour now. Let's see, we had working on rotation in Ridge just a few minutes ago, and I wouldn't doubt that. As these storms are over the river, they tend to have a way to rotate a little bit. Watercraft in distress by Comical Shores. It's pretty chill in Hollywood now. I've got to go to the store. Aaron, I think you should be good now. Rain will linger the next half hour or so, but the worst of the weather is moving out, and that severe thunderstorm warning has been allowed to get canceled. And Elsa, thank you. Got my pond, got a pond in my yard. It's still pouring. And thank you, Jen. I appreciate that. So this pretty much does it for us. The severe thunderstorm warnings have now all been dropped for our region. Now that we've hit 645, Southern St. Mary's County, you're going to see rain continue here, probably up through about 7:15, 7:30, but that about does it for us today. Again, tomorrow we're going to rinse and repeat a little bit. That threat of severe storms is back, but temperatures are gradually going down as the cold front finally moves through our region tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining me the last hour, and really since about 2 o'clock with continuous coverage here. Really trying to keep you and your family ahead of these storms, warning you first about what's going on. So stay tuned to JB Weather. We'll have coverage about the aftermath of these storms throughout the rest of the evening, and I'll be right back here with you tomorrow, keeping you one step ahead of these storms. And it's going to, I think, be an active day tomorrow as well. So just stay tuned, and we'll continue to keep you updated. But until next time, and it's been fun to do this. We haven't done one of these and continuously since February, so it's been fun. But thank you for joining me. Until next time, I'm Forecaster John Bordash. Thank you for joining me this afternoon, and keep it tuned right here to JB Weather.